360 Actiflex.
He's got the best head in the game, cleaning more than just teeth. Watch this. His flexible head goes left, right, and passes around and in between teeth. Plus, with his cheek and tongue cleaner, he kicks over 99% more bacteria.
Game over, bacteria.
Colgate 360 Actiflex. Teeth, tongue, cheeks, and gums for a whole mouth clean. Colgate, recommended by dentists.
This holiday season, what better way to spend it than with a festive jamboree?
This is so cool! Is there anything more wonderful than Christmas?
I'll treasure this forever.
A magical celebration with Julie Andrews, Tim Allen, and your family.
Merry Christmas to all.
Warm your hearts this Christmas Eve with our festive jamboree lineup. Friday on Fox Family Movies.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The votes are in, and we've tallied them up. You told us what you want, and now we're giving it to you. Nat Geo's got the shows that you picked, all in one spectacular lineup.
It was the most important thing in the universe.
So get ready for television the way you like it on What You Want, Sunday at 8 on Nat Geo. Brought to you by LG 3D Blu-ray Home Theater System. Every face tells a different story, and every race tells it differently.
Ang kwento ko ay tungkol sa
转变
역사.
阿姐
In a modernizing world, the stories of our cultures live through us. Stories about the past and our future. Stories about Asia. Next on Nat Geo.
When we were shopping yesterday for spices, Julie introduced us to some really remarkable vegetables. I encountered things I'd never heard of, I don't have a clue how to use, and I'm not just talking about one thing, I'm talking about lots of things.
Oh, these are so beautiful.
Isn't that wonderful? This is bitter melon. It is, as the name says, really bitter.
Wow.
Whoa. So do you eat the whole thing?
You can just taste it. Yeah. Not so bitter.
It's almost like a pepper.
Like a bitter green pepper.
These are like a cross between cucumber and okra.
They're called tindora?
Tindora. See that?
Oh, they look like they kind of look like okra inside.
Sort of like cucumber, but when it's cooked, it almost tastes like okra.
Should we get some?
Sure.
After we bought the vegetables, we went off to taste a really interesting Indian tradition. It's a digestive chew called pan.
Okay, so this is a classic Indian digestive. And it doesn't matter if you've had a French food or Italian food, Indians always have to finish their meal with the pan.
It's so amazing to me. I did not know that you could get pan in New York.
Yeah.
You know, I've always read about pan, but I thought I would have to go to India to get pan.
How about you, Jeffrey? Have you seen pan before?
I have not seen pan, but there are many things in New York City that I have not seen.
Look at that.
Wow.
Before he folds. Just smell this.
Wow. And that's centuries of experimentation.
So this has not only the betel leaf, it's got betel nut and the fennel and the coconut and all these other goodies which are all digestive.
Oh boy.
And it's an experience. There you go. They are so happy they are speechless. Totally. Is it sweet? You can say yes.
It's very complex.
Oh my God, I'm getting the fragrance.
Every time you chomp down on it, you get a spurt of another flavor.
The fennel is there, obviously, but there's also a sweetness. And then everything is kind of balanced by the leaf.
It's a sort of startling, all-body experience because you can feel this stuff down to your toes.
This is great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Back at Julie's, we get to use yesterday's market vegetables in a fascinating vegetarian dish.
Okay, so now we'll be preparing a dish from Calcutta. It is completely vegetarian, it's all vegetables, and it's called shukto.
Shukto.
Shukto. The important thing about shukto is that it must have bitter melon, which we saw in the market.
The shukdo is introducing me to more strange vegetables than I have, I think, ever seen in one place in my life.
It feels like rubber. It's like a tire.
Or the carcass of a strange animal.
You know, this is small. They usually grow to be 4 feet, and then you hold it and it snakes. And it's in English, it's called snake squash.
Oh my! Oh,
wow.
You see how aromatic it is?
Yeah.
And Indians would kill for this vegetable.
By now, I'm getting used to the idea of using all of these different herbs and spices as a masala, but this is the first time that we're using the stone grinder.
How am I doing, Julie?
You're doing very well. You need to push.
Ah, okay.
There.
So that's where the grind comes from, not from the rocking.
No, not from rocking.
Okay.
And you see how beautifully both of you have ground this? This is like a real Indian home.
Along with all these spices and the masala, we're throwing milk and sugar, and then we're going to boil it. It seems very strange that we're using milk instead of water.
So you can see that roasting occurring, all that? That's what you want. Oh, Lord, it looks so good.
There's so many textures and flavors in here. It's really just wonderfully exciting food.
I can't wait to eat this.
Yeah.
Julie has another vegetarian dish that she wants to introduce to Jeffrey and me, and it's like nothing I've ever seen before in my life.
This is a taro leaf.
Taro.
You know, cows love them, but you know, at some point, Indian people realized that if cows like it, it has to be something delicious.
And of course, these are native to Brooklyn. Grow in my back garden.
Oh, wow.
The next dish that Julie's going to show us is called patra.
This is the black chickpeas, and then when you remove the skin and split it, then you end up getting something called chana dal.
Oh, right.
And this is yellow split peas, not to be confused with a supermarket variety.
The chickpeas are soaked for about an hour, and then they're combined with red chilies, cumin, coriander, turmeric, and asafoetida, which is a kind of very strange gum resin that smells terrible but adds a lovely savory flavor to the dish.
So this is the batter, and you can now start getting ready to make the little rolls. So you're basically going to cut this into half.
Wow. It's amazing. So this is like rainforest area.
Yes, look at that.
So I'm going to cut these again.
And this is from the west?
Along the western coast, coastal area, there's an area called Gujarat, and they have staunch vegetarian religious groups, Jain, even Hindus there are vegetarians. And I was raised with this. So we used to have this on Sundays. There's not like a cigarette. You want it to be slightly loose because you want to make sure that when it steams, it has a certain amount of place to expand.
Think so?
Beautiful.
The rolled taro leaves with chickpeas and spices steam for about 10 minutes.
So everybody gets his own?
Everybody gets their own, absolutely.
Here, I got it.
Wow, fabulous. And you're going to slice this, and you can just smell this. It's just amazing. This is a green.
No, it smells like coconut. It smells like there's coconut in there.
It's kind of the rainforest. I mean, that's what I'm smelling, you know?
It's tropical. It is.
Look at the layers and layers and layers you've gotten there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's very satisfying for something so simple.
Vegetarian meatloaf.
The final step is to season the dish with a combination of mustard and sesame seeds, tossed very quickly into hot oil.
See, that sound is very necessary because that gives really wonderful flavor.
This is everyday food? I mean, this is ordinary staple food.
Ordinary. Kids come back from school.
Wow.
And somebody would have this ready.
But the thoughtfulness behind it is incredible.
This is Indian version of quick fix pizza.
Any cook wants to have fresh herbs. Any Western cook worth his salt grows his own parsley and basil and thyme on the windowsill. And of course, Julie wants exactly the same thing. She wants the freshest possible herbs.
So earlier in the week, Julie took me out to New Jersey to visit Nari Bhatia's store. This is one of the only shops in the entire United States that sells a wide variety of living plants whose leaves are used in Indian cooking.
I love this place. This is Nari's world. You know, he's so good with herbs and Indian plants.
Is there another place like this?
As far as I'm concerned, no. I would like to see your wonderful curry plants, you know.
Yes, right here. Here's a curry plant.
I think one thing we need to talk about is when Americans hear curry, they think of curry powder.
That's true.
Curry plant has nothing to do with curry powder, right?
No, nothing. In fact, you know, curry powder is a blend of spices, which has, of course, turmeric because of that yellow color. It has coriander, cumin, fenugreek, mustard, and all.
But no curry.
Yes, no curry at all. The interesting thing about the curry plant is that there's subtle difference in fragrance of different curry leaves. We can just smell one leaf and say, this is my aunt's home outside Chennai in Madurai.
That's right.
And I could say, oh, this is from my mom's place in New Delhi. You know, we can literally pick up.
So when you go from one relative to the other relative, they're cooking the same dish, but they taste a little bit different because their curry plants are a little bit...
If I could just take a whole plant and put it in the pot, I'd do it. It just does magic to food.
The next dish we're going to make is a very simple, quickly cooked prawn dish that takes advantage of our lovely fresh curry leaves.
Now we are moving south and making this dish from Chennai, which is in Tamil Nadu. What they do is they put a spice rub, and this consists of ground cumin, ground coriander, and chilies. If they are doing this in Chennai, this will be about at least 3 times as much, and it tastes good.
We could ask for a little more, couldn't we?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Shall we? Okay, so we're going to increase that. And then we have mustard seeds, which are supposed to be ground.
The spices are tossed in with the shrimp, and then we saute garlic and slices of ginger in a clarified butter called ghee.
It needs to be nice and hot like that because you want the ginger to caramelize. This is the curry leaves. And it's going to fly all over, so you've got to be careful here. Now mix it, mix it. Now, you want this to brown. Now you're going to be adding shrimp.
Okay.
Oh, the smell now of these curry leaves is now sort of dominating.
The idea that you just are squeezing lime juice on at the end is the perfect finishing touch.
So should we taste?
We should taste.
Yeah.
Reusing shrimp. You could do this with scallop. Calamari would be wonderful in this.
This is delicious. Oh. What I learned cooking with Julie was so much more than just Indian cooking. Well, I want to take this mellow wine and thank you for introducing me to a corner of my own city that I didn't know, and to a fellow chili head.
That's right.
What a pleasure it was cooking with you.
Well,
Salud.
Salud.
I've lost my fear of Indian cooking.
Oh, these vegetables are so nicely cooked.
It now seems like something that I can really do.
I always thought that Indian food was sort of incomprehensible. And now I feel like some of these dishes are so simple.
And at the same time, it's everyday food, but it's still so delicate and so thoughtful and just spectacularly flavored.
I've really learned foods that are utterly and completely new to me, and I want to learn more of them.
It's chutneys. You're sneaking things in on us.
Yes, the tamarind chutney is really hot.